Hello, I'm Shelley Rothus, and I'm a different kind of victim. This is part 2, and part 1 was based upon Ken, and as for how he was like my father, but also what my father lacked him. And this is Taheed.
Hello.
Taheed will be asking me questions based on part 2.
Yes, I'm playing the journalist today, and let's go ahead and start. Tell me about your father. Like, tell me to start off what you want to start off with, basically, pretty much.
Okay.
About
In part 1, I had said how Ken was kind of like my father, but he was more open and had more empathy than my father. Now, this is going to be based upon when I first started to know Ken and what I had thought the person I had known.
Okay. So, what was the difference between your father and Ken? You were saying what we was talking about. Was your father emotional?
No.
Okay.
Most people, they don't realize that when I first started trusting Ken was a long time ago, and it built up based upon what I had shared with him in 2019 and how he responded to it. And that's why this situation was so hurtful, because he ended up doing more hurtful things that I would have never expected out of him, even way beyond it. So people don't understand that I had known him, and he had known certain things about me even from way back when, and the way he responded was different than even people I know in, my life as for friends and relationships with, intimate partnerships, and my, parents and sister, my 3 abusers. So what I had learned from him was based upon how he spoke to me and what he gave for advice.
So that made you open up more to him when he was giving you good advice.
That, and how he was not judgmental. Like most people I talk to, they're more about competition. Like for me, my morals based on like intimacy and sex usually were more strict than what most people's are, but the way he responded was totally different. When I talked to others, it would be more about competition as to who was better than who, or they put me down, like called me Shelley with the whacked out morals and stuff like that. But the way that Ken responded was actually shocking to me compared to how all others did. Not based on his gender, but, not just that, just on everybody, even females. So I just felt comfortable talking to him based on how he responded to me.
So, let's talk about your mother. Was she emotionally supportive to you think?
I think it was more fake, because whatever I did share with her, she would use against me in abuse tactics, and even twist it around, kind of like the hate group did. Well, basically the same thing as that hate group that Ken was in. They twisted around, like, Jennifer Walker Shitsula said, oh, she wants to be your first Ken, it's like, and that was actually something that I shared with, Ken, something based upon that. And the way he, responded was different from others, because I remember him telling me when I told him that it's not true what people make fun of me about. He said, well, it's really none of their business. And then when I discussed my morals based upon intimacy in a relationship and how I'm strict about it, he said, then, because others would always put me down for it, like I'm a bad girlfriend, because I'm not quick. And he said, well, why do something that makes you unhappy in the end? It's not worth it. I remember him saying that, and it really, hit me, because that's not
You started thinking.
Yeah, it's not what normal people usually say to me.
So was he opening up to you believe?
Yeah, he did open up, and unlike him, I'm not going to share that personal information like he did with the A group. He used things that I entrusted him with. And the reason why it's so hurtful is because he was the first person that I trusted, and I've heard about it, that when you trust somebody, it hurts more when they deceive and betray you. So I've never felt that before until now, because my relationships with my abusers was never like that, and the only person I ever felt close to and looked up to is my father.
Wow. So that must have been very hurtful. If you know somebody for that long too, it's been a while. You said 2019. That's a long time to get to know someone, and a lot of information goes out and stuff like that. So you really trusted him.
Yeah.
Wow. So what about your sister? How was the relationship with your sister?
She would talk to me about her problems, but if I said anything about myself, she would always degrade me and say, well, that's stupid, Shelley, or I don't want to hear it, Shelley, shut up, stop it, or that's it, enough. You know, she would shut me out, or, you know, it's like, you know, she would always say, oh, I'll call you back, you know, or I'm busy, you know. She would always have time to talk to the ringleader, my mother, but never me. But she always degraded me for anything I shared with her. She'd usually degrade me about my problems or anything.
So from all this that you've learned from your relationship, your friendship, especially was like a long distance friendship with this guy, right, Ken? And did you feel that it helped you or hurt you at the end?
It actually hurt me more than I ever can imagine, because he was the first person I trusted. But it also goes back to what he's taught me. So everything he's taught me actually applies to what he's done to me too. I mean, it's still extremely hurtful. I mean, like him going into my group, he was the first person I trusted when I made that escape group to escape my abusers. Even over people I knew in real life, I trusted him the most. And that group was very private and personal to me. And I even seen in the hate group that he planned it out himself to go in there to humiliate me in front of people I know in real life. And I was extremely humiliated because, you know, people even in my real life, you know, and other people would say, you know, be like, you know, they're not too sure based on the story, you know, and what happened. But I still entrusted him on that one thing, that he would never share anything or do anything, you know, that would actually damage my real life like he did, you know, with my friendships, you know, and humiliating me in front of people I know in real life like
so
that.
So you felt betrayed?
Extremely betrayed. I mean, more than anybody's ever done to me.
Sorry to hear about that. So, thank you for running everything down to me. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Just that it doesn't even matter how long you've really known somebody. It's just people can betray you at any moment or time. It's not like I just met this person, because a lot of people think, oh, well, she must have just met them and opened up. It's not like I walked up to some stranger and said, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know.
It takes time to get to,
Yeah, just the way he spoke to me, like I said, and the way he acted, you know. But when he started hanging out with William, I noticed he started being pretty nasty to even other people, and I noticed him change. I knew after the last incident, the bullying incident, that our relationship went downhill, and that was the end. But I, at the time, couldn't deal with it. I said in other videos, I couldn't deal with that, and my escaping, and my father, and realizing that was the ending of that. But I did not expect him to go as far as he did, as to what he had said to me too, as for saying, you know, as though I'm, you know, ugly, mental, you know, like, even if I was the last person on earth, you know, he would never be with me, when I never expected that in the first place from him, you know, from him to be with me in that way. You know, that was very hurtful, even for a friend to say something like that. I can't imagine, you know, and nobody's ever said something that cruel to me. I mean, you as a guy, I mean, isn't that pretty cruel to say to even a female friend?
Yeah, that is sad. It just makes me think, what was his whole agenda? What would you think his agenda to do something like that?
He was with that hate group when he said that to them, you know.
So that's the game war. He wanted the game war. You think he wanted well, I would think he would have gained more friends. That's what he was trying to do off of that. If you say he was with a hate group, you say something like that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, these are the same people that were in the hate group from last year that he defended me against for saying
Wow.
certain things. He ended up doing himself, you know.
And he just turned it around 360.
Yeah, things that he found despicable, he was doing himself in that hate group. You know, he told these same people that he would never be in a hate group and that they're, you know, basically despicable and everything else. I even have proof of him saying that. And he's actually in a hate group with these same people, certain same people like Shitsula and Hateradical.
Now he's friends.
Yeah, and he's putting me down with them.
Wow.
Yeah, after he had scolded them. Yeah.
That is sad. That's sad, especially when you put your trust in someone.
Yeah. I just didn't realize how bad it hurt. Because like I said, he's the first person I trusted. I didn't realize how bad it hurt. I've been hurt before by others, but I never realized how bad it hurt when you actually trusted somebody like that. You know, in that way, that much, as to where you actually trust them. Because I didn't know what trust was. I mean, my abusers never gave me any really good reason to trust them. So I was raised where I didn't know what trust was.
So my question is this: if he came to apologize to you, would you accept it?
I've actually thought about that, and I'm usually very easy at accepting and apologizing, giving people chances. I have to say it would be the first time I would be scared to ever trust him again after what he said, because it was that hurtful.
I understand.
It would take a long time. I mean, as you can see, it's very hard to even say. It's just,
Yeah.
I've never had somebody say something that cruel about me before and stoop that low to humiliate me like that and all that. It's unbelievable to me. I just cannot imagine.
So where do you think you stand at right now in life?
I've lost hope in people. I really don't trust people that much, and I'm afraid of trusting again because it hurt that bad. I don't want to be close to anybody now. I really don't.
All right, I hope people learn from this situation with you, because this is what it's all about, you know. People learn from your story and learn how you had to go through things and the way things, you know, was handled, you know. And hopefully that people will learn from your story, because now that you have an avenue,
Yeah.
and every day you create content to help others and help yourself at the same time,
Yeah.
pretty much, because at the end of the day, it's self-therapy. That's good. So, okay, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for talking to me and opening up, and till next time.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Take care.